All right, we're going live on video. Stand by for audio. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Live the Fuel show. So yes, once again, I have found yet another new guest co-host for you to listen to, and obviously in the YouTube world, watch and listen to. So this young lady joining us today, she's the founder and creator. I think that's important too, right? It's not just founding, you create. Creator of the AlignedSoul Collective and Society, a manifestation success coach and mindset mentor. We talk a lot about mindset on this show. And she's got 20 plus years of marketing and business executive experience. So she and I are going to vibe today because I love marketing. And she's got not just that background, but we're talking about two worlds, like most recognized brands. Like there's going to be so much stuff we're going to dig into today. She's effortlessly combined woo, which by the way is in my Strengths Finder bio, woo factor, spiritual and business practical tools to help guide amazing high performance women to stand up and step into what they desire and help them actually have it all, people. So again, founder creator of the Aligned Soul, Christine Michelle Hayes, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I love that. I am going to cut that out and play it in front of everything.
I just get bored and just start having fun with it. So, when you have your show, it's like whatever. I hope they enjoy it. I'm just having fun. So, isn't that a secret to life? Like, let's just dive right in, right?
I agree.
Why are we stressing out about so much? I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty. I'm a high performer. I stress myself out all the time, and I'm like, hit the brakes. Why are we stressing so much, right? Like, isn't this the whole point? Aren't we supposed to be digging deeper into that spiritualism that you're talking about in your bio, right? Like, it's not just the business stuff, the practical tools, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, you can coach that, you can teach that, but it's like, guys, like, there's that deep, deep down personal stuff that you're bringing to the table. What is your woo, right? Like, how do you hit the brakes? I'm intrigued to jump right into that right away today. Like, all right, let's just dive in, girl.
I think you are totally right. We take things too seriously, and as high performers, we just do, right? We're taught to, do the best, get the hundreds on the test. 90 is not good enough. You got to get the hundreds. Like,
oh, absolutely not. No, not even 90. You got to have 91 percentile or greater. You can't be 90. That's just barely over the threshold. What is that?
It sucks, right? So it's like we put so much pressure on ourselves from when we were kids, when really all of the true success comes from your mindset, comes from all of the woo-woo plus the practical. Like, you have to put all of that together. And it's just a way of life, I think, the way we've been raised to push ourselves, to force, and to not allow all of the help that we have, help from each other, help from guidance, a source, or the universe, whatever you believe in, like that all can allow it to be easy. And I think once we flip that switch in our heads, then we can realize, you know what, this does not have to be hard. It can really be easy. And that is what my goal is to help women and men, of course, just step into who they are and really know that this crap can be easy. It does not have to be hard. We don't have to push. We can allow and really allow some amazing things into our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like part of your bio, right? Like, for the last 20 years, we already hinted at originally, right? You've mentored and coached clients, friends, family, direct reports from being in management and stuff like that. So you get the mentee relationship. But the whole point here is like your whole niche is that you've been uplifting them and reminding them, again, I'm taking this right from your bio, that they already know inside that they can do it, right? They can have anything they desire. It's just, most of the time, especially mindset, right? Listen, the body will find what the mind decides, okay? Mindset leads, the body follows, the spirit follows, all that, right? So it's like, guys, like, you already have everything you need in you. We all have to remind ourselves of that. It's just, we keep getting in our own way.
We do. And I have been victim to that, or victimized myself towards that. You start.
Give us some history on that.
Right? You're always looking outside of yourself, but that happens when you're young, right? You start to try to look for validation, look for help. Oh, I can't know everything inside me. When the truth is, it is all inside. And that's the big thing that I like to show my clients is like, you don't need me. What I'm telling you is all things that resonate because it's things you already know. And I'm just reminding you. And a lot of times it helps, right? It helps to have someone that's looking at a situation. That's why we have girlfriends. That's why we have boyfriends. That's why we have some friends, because they can see things that you're not allowing yourself to see. But once you fine tune your awareness and really, really listen to your feelings, listen to your instincts, take that instinct and take the action when you feel it, then you realize, you know what? All of those answers were all inside. I didn't need the super long education. I didn't need all of those things in order to know what I needed to do next, because it is all inside.
I love that where we're going with this, because this is one of the things I love about podcasting. Like, honestly, people are like, oh, you don't script your show. Like, absolutely not. It drives me nuts. I hate scripted shows because I love it where it's just, you got to feel the flow. It forces you and I as co-hosts to really listen to each other and hear where it's going, and just, again, get fueled off of the fire, right? That's my brand, right? So I love where you're going with all this, because I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. I mean, clearly, let's dive into some of the history behind this. Like, what got you to where you are today? Because everything you're discussing obviously is under the umbrella of why coaching and mentors exist, okay? Eventually, you reach a point where you're like, I just keep slamming my head up against the wall. Well, either you enjoy that and you enjoy knocking yourself unconsciously with your health, your business, your lifestyle. Those are the three domains we discussed, or anything beyond that. That's my brand. That's our show. But it's like, guys, unless you enjoy it, eventually reach out for help. Like, get somebody to look at what you actually already know the answers. You just are struggling to find them.
Right.
Right? Is that what you have found over the years as well?
Yes, definitely. And sometimes it's just a question or two that really allow you to start to tune in and listen. But it's also allowing them to know that they can trust themselves. And that's what I found, like for clients, we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our instincts because we're taught to weigh these pros, weigh these cons, take very, very long to make decisions. And if you look at the most successful people in the world, they make decisions fast. They make a ton of decisions and they just keep moving. They say, okay, that didn't work. This will work. That didn't work. This will work. That didn't work. This will work. And we've been taught to just weigh and second guess and know and not listen to the instinct. With the instinct is when you ask a question, and this is what I teach my clients, when you ask yourself a question and you say, hey, what should I do? And when you tune in to inside, that first answer, the first 3 seconds, that's what to do. Whatever comes after that, like, that all is all the second guessing. And it's all the things that stop you from moving forward in a very fast way and excelling for what you desire. So yeah, you're right. I am not needed. No coach is really needed if we were all tuning inside and listening to ourselves. But the way this world is, the way we've grown up, it really helps to have someone there who can say, hey, what have you thought about this? Or listen to your what was your first instinct? Like, what do you think here? What do you think there?
Yeah, I'm getting two big themes out of it. This is just from me, coming in from you, because that's why I love this format, because it's about you and I have a conversation. Everybody else is just listening in. And I want to get these two things that are sticking in my head, because I'm hoping some of the audience is already sticking on these two. One, you really dug into some coaching there. I like that. And so the phase one question is, what do you think about this? I'm going to say it, but don't answer it yet. What do you think about coaches who don't have coaches? All right, I'm going to say it like that. Coaches who do not have coaches or mentors above them, guiding them. And then the other piece of it was just, again, part of your history and your story was, I'd like to get a little bit more about that, right? Like, why did you choose to get into that yourself? Because I guarantee all of us have that story, right? We all used to be there where it's like, oh yeah, I just kept not making decisions fast enough because I didn't put enough reps in yet, right? There wasn't enough repetitions put in place, like going to the gym. I haven't put enough reps in and enough mistakes yet, or enough yeses, to realize that through the power of repetition, it's like, oh, I just have to keep making more of them, because I will eventually embrace the mistakes, embrace the failures, because those are the most powerful lessons you will learn from. Yes. So let's just sum all that up, right? Two big questions are, what do you think about coaches who don't have coaches, to guide people on that? And then obviously, maybe some more of the background, but like, where were you at when you were still making the slow yeses and not making mistakes fast enough?
Yeah, well, definitely. So coaches who don't have coaches, I'm always like, up to you. Maybe your coach is your inner guide, your guidance, and you can, make those decisions fast. You really listen to yourself and you're tapped in, tuned in, turned on.
Sure.
I felt that I have two mentors and then one that I worked with for a very long time. And it was because I found myself like being able to like say, oh, what about this? What about this? But I felt that I was lacking. Even though I was tuned in and I'm listening to my soul, I felt like I needed someone else to bounce those conversations off.
Yes. And it's not your significant other, mind you. Okay. Like, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, like I love my fiance. You got to keep some things separate, just some things. I mean, unless you're one of these really rare power couples that you just get each other and it just all works out, wonderful. But like, just don't, like, just pay a coach.
Yeah. It's just nice to have someone who is looking at you from the eyes of love, looking at you just and not automatically assuming. Because sometimes when you have, a relationship, like you said, a husband or wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend, they automatically assume that this is what you need, so I'm going to give it to you, instead of really, really listening and tuning in and really listening to you from the soul. Because the way I do the coaching is very intuitive. And so I listen to my guidance and listen to the words that the person's saying, and then I can pull out what they're not seeing. And a lot of times when you have that relationship, sometimes you can't do that. You're automatically assuming. So I do feel like coaches who have coaches, they're open to learning and realizing that maybe they're not as tapped in and maybe they can see it really good for other people, but they can't see it for themselves, because sometimes we can't see it for ourselves. So I would be a little cautious about working with a coach who doesn't have a coach, but that's just me.
Thank you, because it's something that I've gained over the past few years of me going through a couple different coaches. It's okay if you eventually feel like, I just feel like this coach just isn't taking me any further. That's actually good, because that means your coach did a great job and you've leveled up to the limits of that relationship, and it's time to graduate and move on.
Yeah.
And I've been there where I had a period early this year where I had like 3-4 months with no coach, because I just like, I'm not going to pay for this anymore. And I said, thank you so much for getting me there. But like, we're just spinning our wheels. I got to start looking for somebody new. And it took me 3-4 months, and it was awkward. And I will admit, I was spinning some wheels again in a different way, in a different level. So I'm a big supporter of that. Like, listen, I have people that call me a coach. I don't brand myself as a coach, but I've spent many, many years in many, many different coaching roles in the athletic world and the professional world and the business world. So people are like, oh, you should be advertising yourself as a coach. I'm like, I'll get around it. It's not the core. It's not the core part of my income stream right now and everything else. So I only coach a very, very few relations, and that's it. But the point is that I feel that we should all have somebody helping us level up, and even the best coaches always have somebody else in their inner circle. There's always somebody else in there, right? And maybe it's not officially a coach. You actually said something really powerful right now. It's like somebody to bounce ideas off of. Okay, maybe you don't actually have a one-on-one coach, but I guarantee you the top coaches are in these high-end mastermind groups, right?
Yes.
Masterminds, that's group coaching, really, if you think about it. It's like you're able to bounce it off of multiple people.
Yeah. And you're surrounding yourself by people who are doing what you're doing or better than what you're doing. And what do they say? You're the sum total of the 5 closest people that you spend the most time with.
Yeah,
so what I love about masterminds or having group coaching programs is that you're all doing these things together, but there are some aspects of people that are doing way better than you in this, and you're doing better than them in this, and you can all vibe off of each other and like really, really grow. So I love group coaching programs, and I also love like the masterminds, but then I also adore one-to-one because I feel like when you're bouncing those personal ideas, a lot of times, sometimes coaching, some of my conversations with my coach and my mentor had nothing to do with business and had everything to do with life. And those were where I got the most amazing ideas for business and doing amazing things. So, but yeah, so coaches who don't have coaches, I mean, it's okay to, as long as you know that you're bouncing your ideas off of some other people, as long as you know that you're open to, receiving guidance, Because a lot of times I feel like
There it is.
coaches
Receiving.
that don't have coaches is because they're not open to receiving. They're not open to receiving guidance. They think they know it all. And yes, when I do my journaling, I always say every decision that I make is the right decision for me. But I'm also saying, God, universe, source, what's the next step? Where I take you, lead me in the right direction.
So is that part of the fun? Because we do video. I've got to do some screen sharing here for us. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you visit ANAHOBLIFE.com, AnnaHobLife.com. Is that how you say it, by the way? Anna Hob?
Yes, you're saying it correctly.
All right. See, I'm rolling with it, right? But like, I'm on our website right now. I'm doing a little sharing, and transformation artist, mindset mentors, success coach, stand up, step in and stand out. I love your taglines in here. As a marketing guy, I geek out on this stuff. And all your professional photos are very fun. You can tell you have like a whimsical side to you. I haven't used that word in a while. Whimsical. Like you're very expressive. You're very expressive. So
you want to know who took those photos?
Yes, I do actually. You did selfies?
They weren't selfies,
but
I
like a remote.
I had a remote, and I set up my own.
That's hustle right there. That's hustle.
Yes, I set up my own.
So this one right here, we got like the little bashful smile going on. Like, yeah. Actually, it could be bashful, or it could be like, I'm about to take over the world type of look, right? It depends on how you angle that one. It's like, I am so fun, but yes, this smile also means I'm going to conquer you. I don't know. That's what I got out of that one. So I figured you would appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I was so freaked out because, guys, like I said, you want a coach who understands what you're going through, right? So I had some confidence issues. I had gained some weight. I didn't feel really beautiful. I just, I'm 42, so.
I'm 40. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and I look great for my age and all of that stuff because I don't believe in aging. I age backwards.
Well said.
I didn't feel good, and I didn't like to take pictures. I didn't want to be on film, but I was like, I need to take pictures because I need to express myself. Blah, blah, blah. So I was totally freaked out. I set up the diva light and a couple of other lights, and I just said, okay.
Hold on, I got to pause. I feel like I need a diva light. What's a diva light?
Oh, a diva light. Let me see.
Are you talking about like the ring lights, or like, what's a diva light? Oh, she's changing her webcam. Oh, it's over her right now.
Can you see it?
It's one of those ring lights. Okay.
Yes, it's a ring light.
I just saw. All right, so I'm using the official terminology, but in your world, you're saying that's the diva light.
It's a diva light, and when you look it up, if you Google or go to Amazon and look for diva light, you will find the diva light.
Okay, so it's clearly not your standard ring light is what I'm hearing. Okay, this is at a whole different level. Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting leveled up right now, okay? Do not be Googling or Amazon searching for ring lights. You need to be searching. This is a call to action right now, diva light.
Look for the diva light. I will change your life.
I'm not kidding. This is happening right now, okay? We're video sharing. We're taking action. I'm going to Amazon. Because actually, I have my own influencer page on Amazon. I'm going to add a diva light to my influencer.
You've got to do it. It's the diva light.
I haven't bought it yet, April, but you know what? Because I do have a lamp assembly here for lighting, but it's just not a diva light.
See? The diva ring light. That's what I have.
Snap. Diva ring light. Oh, yeah, Supernova. I already know this company. I didn't know they had a diva light. That's marketing.
It's only for divas.
That's marketing. Well, I feel like I could be a male diva. Can I be a male diva?
You can be a male diva. There are many male divas.
Oh, there is. Okay. Straight male divas? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have some very good homosexual friends, and trust me, some of those guys can be some divas. But man, I need to level up here. This is all right, people.
Up. It makes you feel amazing. The diva light is fabulous.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we always have very detailed show notes when it goes up on the website. So I will be hyperlinking in your diva lights in the show notes because we've already spent like at least 5 minutes on it, so you have to link it.
You have to link it. It's the best thing I've ever purchased. When everybody's like, well, what kind of lighting do you use? I'm like, the diva light. Like, I need a diva
And the best part is, like, you don't have to scroll very far. Like, if you search diva light, it's only the first 3 to 4 options.
Yes.
Don't scroll any further, people. Like, really, the first 1 or 2, you're good to go. That's it. All right. Get your diva on. All right.
Get your diva on. But yeah, so my point with the story for the pictures was really like, we all have our insecurities, and it's all about how you choose to see them, how you choose to move through them. And when you don't move through the fear, you stay where you are. All of the pictures, all of the things on my Instagram, all of those pictures of me came from that time when I was freaked out, and I just decided, I'm going to do this. It's going to turn out fine. And I don't know how many pictures that I took, but I stepped into it and I did it. And I am still using pictures from that photo shoot, and they came out amazing.
And these were literally, technically, selfies. Now, granted, you had the remote, the Bluetooth tech, and everything else. Now, were these iPhone photos, by the way?
iPhone.
So you did the classic iPhone tripod selfie with a Bluetooth remote?
Yes.
There you go. There's your hack, ladies and gentlemen. We're literally teaching you how to hack your brand growth, because some of these photos are really nice. I mean, again, clearly, did you have the diva light when you did these?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
I had a diva light, and then I had 2 shadow boxes.
Oh, she's got shadow boxes and everything. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, do not do your own selfies without your diva light, with a side dose of shadow boxing. Okay?
A side dose of shadow boxing. See, you know how you said you put the money into your brand? I did it as well, because like I said, I worked for 20 years. I worked for the Coca-Cola company, and then I also worked for Victoria's Secret. And so I'm all about branding. I'm all about things that are beautiful. That's me. That's what I love. I love to see beautiful things. So if you look at my website, it's beauty. It's pretty.
It is very elegant.
Yeah, I just love, and I love light. I love bright. White was my favorite color. We talked about this before.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're, again, most of the podcast followers follow the audio world, but if you visit her site, or if you watch this video on YouTube, she has a wonderful dark gray black backdrop. But then at the bottom of the screen, this girl's dressed in white. She's on a white couch. She showed me before we started recording today, she's got a white pen. I mean, and then she's got the diva light set up. So she's just glowing. I mean, it's just, there's a whole lot of amazing contrast going on right now. So yes, and again, your website's very clean. It's very subtle. You don't even have black fonts. I noticed you've gone with gray fonts. You've gone with light pinks, some fuchsia. I know fuchsia because when you were working for Coca-Cola, I was probably working for T-Mobile, and that's their company color. So I was a coach and an analyst for them. So yeah, but this is nice. I like this.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I love it. Like I said, I love branding, especially like if you go to my Instagram, you'll see it's all about like flavor, like colors. I love rose gold. Like I love all of those things. Isn't that funny?
I had to zoom in on that. I'm just like, we're having so much fun, ladies and gentlemen. We're recording. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, right now, what you don't know is behind the scenes, I've rearranged my schedule, and like Christine and I are recording at between 2 and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Saturday, okay? That's our commitment to you, the listeners, the commitment to her and her brand and her followers, and to me and my brand. Like, guys, like, I did 2 CrossFit workouts this morning, then went mountain biking, then literally, right before I hit record, Christine, I had people here. Like, the people I went mountain biking with, I made everybody breakfast, bacon and eggs, and made everybody, and then, like, came in here. Like, it was just like, and it's now only 2:30 afternoon. I still have the rest of the day ahead of me. So,
jeez, you did the darn thing. Well, let's see. My morning, I woke up. My sister and I got together. I was like, look, we're going to go to Target. So we went to Target. We went to Costco.
Hold on. Come on. You got a diva light.
Yeah.
Isn't it Target?
Oh, it's Target.
Isn't there a thing? It's Target or it's Target? Come on, girl.
It used to be Target when I lived in New York. Now that I live in Tampa, it's Target.
And the best part is, I've been there. I used to hang out in New Tampa.
New Tampa. Yes, yeah. I live in South Tampa.
Okay, so one of our call center outsourcers, when I was with T-Mobile, we outsourced to a third-party call center company, and they were in that area. So I used to come down and stay in Tampa. So
down there.
Yeah, I know your turf.
I love it here now. I mean, I've lived in Atlanta. Well, I'm from New Orleans first.
Oh, you're a New Orleans girl.
Yeah, New Orleans. And I left New Orleans and I forget when, but then I moved to Atlanta and worked for Coca-Cola there. Okay. And then from Coca-Cola, I left and moved to New York. And that's where I worked with Victoria's Secret. And I was on the beauty side. So we created.
Oh, you're a VS girl.
Yes, I am a VS girl. I've gone to the fashion show. I've lived the fabulous VS life. And I also opened the stores internationally. So it's
As a male, I do appreciate all the work that you do, or you
yeah.
have done. Sorry, you have done.
Yes.
And my fiance, she's an equine horse veterinary doctor and a doctor of chiropractic care
Wow.
for dogs and horses too. So she does a lot of weird things that most people aren't used to seeing. But I mean, trust me, when she uses your stuff, I appreciate it. I just say whatever's involved with all of that, keep up the great work, those people who do that. I mean, clearly you don't need to do that anymore, but
I know. It was super fun, though. It was funny. I was organizing my space, and I was thinking, like, wow, what amazing life that I have lived, because I always knew since I was a young girl, I always wanted to work for myself, have my own business. But I went the traditional route because that was what was expected of me, go to college, get the job, work in corporate. And so I value all of the time in corporate, all of the people that I've been able to manage, all of the people that I've been able to coach and mentor while I was in corporate. I love the time, all of the marketing skills, all of the business strategy, all of that stuff that I brought into my business and I help my clients with. I wouldn't have gotten that if I wouldn't have done what I did. So I think when we look at our lives, we should always make sure that we just appreciate every single step, because every single thing you went through, Hurricane Katrina, my parents went through that. That was not the fun time.
oh, so your family was still down there.
Yes, my family is still down there, and they moved back 3 years after, but they were there the day, it was a week before Katrina hit. It was at the foot of Florida. It was about to cross into the Gulf. My dad calls us, and he's like, yeah, we're coming visit. And they had never come to Atlanta yet. We were trying to get them there, trying to get them to visit.
This is what it takes you to visit, really?
This is what it takes to visit.
It takes a disaster.
A disaster.
It gets you the heck out of New Orleans.
Exactly, yeah. And then they came and they didn't leave for 3 years because it was so much devastation and what they went through. But then they went back, it just takes some situations like that. If that hurricane wouldn't have happened, my mom has sarcoidosis, and she has a form of it, and they were putting her on prednisone, which is a drug that put everybody on, right? So she was on it for years and years and years.
Don't get me going on the drug thing. Like, oh, you have that one symptom. Well, that means we got to answer that with a drug. Like, you do realize that drugs only treat the symptom. It doesn't treat the root cause, right? It's just a medical Band-Aid. It's not actually a root cause resolution. So
no, exactly.
I bring on a lot of scientists and very, very healthy doctors, and we really get on health on this show too. So.
But it's so true, that doesn't cover the root cause. And then it was just had so many side effects, but she had been taking it for so many years. And then if Katrina hadn't happened, they wouldn't have gone to Atlanta. And she ended up finding a doctor that decided to treat her sarcoidosis in a totally different way, right? So that you can always...
Was it a naturopath or?
It wasn't a naturopath, which I'm trying to get my mom to when they come visit again. But it was something else that was way better for her body. They treated it similar to the way they treat Lyme disease. Yeah. And
these are all inflammatory illnesses.
Exactly.
Like, disease is tied to the inflammation of the body, right?
Exactly.
If you can put the fire out from within, all of these other manifestations start reducing and going away. So we're trying to get her here so that she can go to my naturopath, because he is awesome. But what you're saying is we need to have another hurricane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm listening to you. This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing this because I'm actively listening. We hinted at this earlier, people. We don't just listen. We actively listen. And from what I've actively heard, the only way to get your parents the hell out of where they're at is a freaking natural disaster. Just saying.
No. Okay, so they took them that long to get to Atlanta, but after that, they started to travel a lot more. They didn't come to New York. When I lived in New York for a long time, they didn't come to New York because that was too much for them. It was too much. But they've come to Tampa. They've come to Tampa a ton of times. So they'll come. It's just a matter of getting her to my doctor, because, of course, naturopaths and doctors like that aren't covered by insurance. And I'm like, I don't care. You're going to be way better. That's why they're not covered, because you won't need to go back.
I haven't been to an MD in years. I go see my chiropractor every month. I go see a massage therapist every month.
Oh, yes.
That's it. Like, I mean, somebody just sent me a website that has an entire national database of everybody who's a natural practitioner.
Ooh.
Like, everything from chiropractors to naturopaths to massage. I mean, it's like a giant database. I didn't even know it existed. I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
You're like, I can go to the doctor here.
I've never been to one of these gurus. Like, I literally think I'm just going to get bored in the next couple of months and just start going to people and just see what they do.
Right.
I have fun. You should have fun with healthcare.
Yes.
Like,
and I think
look at healthcare and medical care as a negative.
Yes. Or they're looking for what's wrong, so like the doctors, because they're so searching on and focused, I believe that what you focus on grows, right? So yes, they're trying to help, and there's no negativity, especially with doctors. They're here to help, and they're really
thank you. Yes. I do rip on them from time to time, but they are here to help.
Yes.
With the symptoms.
Yeah, that's their intention. But they're looking for what's wrong. So you constantly are looking like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And it just gets more wrong and more wrong and more wrong, because you're so focused on the negative. So, I love a naturopath.
It's unfortunate. It's going to take time for us to reverse, from my last math check, about 30 to 40 years of backwards education. Like, we were fine before, and then we went down the wrong path. And I listen, I mean, you may appreciate this. Before I went to the corporate space, like, I grew up on a dairy farm. Like, I grew up literally shoveling shit and milking cows. I mean, that was my childhood. And so I learned how to work hard. That wasn't a problem. But then I realized I wanted nothing to do with that. and I wanted something more. So, you start chasing the corporate dreams. You think that's what you want. Like, so when you're at Coca-Cola, I'm probably like doing my coaching thing at T-Mobile, and got into the IT space, all that stuff. Again, these are all steps that I had to take to transform or begin that transformation journey. I mean, I didn't know if that was where I was going to end up the rest of my life. You don't know. You never know, right? Back to that mindset piece. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going full circle here. I mean, we just went from like marketing and branding we really dug into, I love the fact that you actually were so honest and transparent about your family and your mother. Thank you. Because we talk about health, business, and lifestyle. Everybody struggles balancing these, okay? So full circle back, though, the one thing that since I launched this show, and I've been realizing more and more recently this year, in 2018, is that, my brand is, we want to fuel your health, your business, your lifestyle for the show. But mindset is constantly coming up. I literally have a regular monthly guest co-host, shout out to Dr. Megan Cannon, PhD, who's a sports psychologist here locally. And we are constantly rapping about the athletic mindset and other things. It's like, guys, like, your mindset drives so much. So I'm glad that we're kind of bringing this back, because that's what I'm hearing from you right now.
It's
and
everything.
Like, look at your little story about your mom, right? Like, their mindset was one way. Granted, we had fun with that for a second. It took a natural disaster to shift and finally get them to visit you. So yay, but part of that experience, even though it was traumatic, was, okay, now they travel more. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a mindset shift, not just and a lifestyle shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, granted, ladies and gentlemen, we did not want a natural disaster at the level of Hurricane Katrina to get you to make shifts in your life.
No.
Please make them a little bit easier.
Fast. Like, just know that shifts can happen so fast. Awareness is key.
Help us with that.
It's all about being aware, or allowing yourself to be aware of where you're thinking, what you're thinking. And, we have 60,000 thoughts in our head all day, blah, blah, blah. You can kind of see where your thoughts are by just observing where you're living your life as. Like, where are you? What's happening? Doesn't
it take the ability to pause, right?
Like,
those 60,000 thoughts are just go, 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 go. And we don't realize we're having more than half of them. That's what I mean. I just want to pause on that. Like, let's pause on that. Like, how do you help people, including yourself or your family? How do you get them to at least pause and reflect? Like, wait a minute, what if I focused on that and realized the mindset shift involved with that? I don't know. Like, what are you thinking about right now?
So the first thing I do, because, I focus on mindset, and in order to manifest anything in your life, mindset's all about it. Everything's all connected, right?
Yes.
So when I sit with someone first, we understand, like, what are your goals? Like, what are your intentions for your life? Where do you see yourself? Right? And so, and then how does that compare to where you are now? And then I just let people flow so that they can start talking. And then when they say something that's total counterintuitive to them creating the life that they desire, I try to make them aware of that. You know, I also use journaling as one of the tools that everyone who works with me actually does. Most of them fall in love with it. And
I'll tell you, a lot of self-help gurus over the years have always promoted that. I mean, point blank, just because I want this to be a two-way thing.
yes,
I suck at journaling.
you can't do it wrong. There's no wrong.
Hold on. There's journals sitting right here on my standing desk. Hold on. There's 4 more right there. I think this one probably, I went in maybe 10 pages. Oh, this one's half. This one's halfway. Actually, this is my ideas book. So that's my form of journaling.
That's journaling.
I had, and then this is from an event from Grant Cardone, the 10X event. So I have a sticker on there. So a lot of my journals are literally, they go, not even halfway. But to be fair, I purposely wait. I go to an event. I bring a backup journal to an event. If they give me a journal, that is what I take all the notes in from that event. So technically, I guess I do journal because I write notes like crazy at events. But
do you write any other time?
No. I'm honest. I'm transparent.
That's true. It's true.
That's why I wanted to pause on this, because to this day, I'm like, is it a weakness? I don't know, because I podcast like crazy, right? I air 2 shows a week, every Monday and Friday. So I'm writing timestamp show notes, and I actually literally, most podcasters, here's a quick little side weekend. Most podcasters do not go back and listen to their shows. I listen to every single one of my podcasts in my car. So when I'm traveling on business or whatever, I go back and listen to every one of my shows. So obviously my show is a favorite in my app. And every single show must get listened to, because I care about the quality. I want to learn, like, did I talk too much? Stuff like that. Like, Scott, you should have shut the hell up there. I'm my own worst self-critic.
Yeah.
But like, again, journaling, suck.
Okay.
So
well,
I figured you'd appreciate that.
One thing I actually have, I'm creating it to be a free course, but I did this free 5-day journaling challenge, which led into my Journal Manifest Win course that I had. And I had one of my clients, she's amazing. She was like, I hate journaling. I hate writing. So I was like, you got this. I said, look, I want you, when you journal, you don't have to do it. It can be set your timer for 10 minutes a day. You could do it for 5 minutes a day. I said, but I want you to repetitively just really stand in what you are manifesting in your life. So I wanted her to, because my belief is desires are divine. Desires come from within. They come from God. They come from, they come from within. And so there is no desire nothing that you desire that you cannot have. There is nothing that you desire that you can't have. In fact, you already have it. It is really yourself telling you now it's time for you to step into it. And so by doing, the way I wanted her to do it was by her repetitively writing, like, what am I? Who am I? How does it feel to be that person who already has this amazing business, who already has the customers who just are dying to have every single product that she launches? How does it feel to launch something and it sell out like Kylie Lip Kits? Like, how does it feel, And so
how I feel, yeah.
Yeah, write that. Get into it, because journaling is not just about the writing. For me, the way I teach it, it is about feeling it and stepping into it, and then asking yourself, what's the aligned next step? What is my aligned soul action that I take next? And then writing exactly what you hear. And so I do a lot of stream of consciousness journaling, a lot of asking a question and just answering it, and a lot of release. There's a lot of release with journaling. So like if you're going through a crappy situation, I'm all about positivity. You guys probably can tell that from the way I am, but I'm
with you, girl. Like, trust me, you're gonna talk about a guy who's got fire in his logo. I'm trying to fire people up. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. You are a welcomed co-host.
all about positivity, but I'm all about being real with what you're feeling now, because no feeling deserves to be ignored. So you have like, do you boo, right?
Yeah, I'm sharing her Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Again,
Thank you.
at ANAHOB as in boy and life. She's got a great Instagram. You have way more followers than I am. I post on Instagram, but I just don't care. Like, that's not the core of my brand. But like, you are.
You can see I'm very visual. I love it. Love it.
And everything's so white and crisp. I feel like when I look at yours, like, hold on, I'm gonna switch to mine. Here's a contrast, people. We're not gonna lose this thought. Stay focused. Like, this is the difference.
I gotta follow you.
Hold on. So there we go. There's me. I've got, obviously, I love to share the podcast.
I love it.
You'll eventually be in the feed. I share the podcast episode graphics that we designed because it's image heavy. But then I share a piece, like, this is a magazine that just got published in. So like, I share my lifestyle. But like, the lightest things I have on here are my quotes.
But you know what? It all flows. Everything flows. You have the darks. You have it flows. It's your brand. Yeah, you're doing
good. Look at there you go. Again, I just switched back. It's just night and day. Again, that's your brand.
That's my brand. It's Kello. It's me.
Yeah. You're very into your flowers.
Yes. I'm very girly. But I love baseball, and I love a sport. So.
Okay. All right. I don't see it on your Instagram, but that's okay.
No, the sports won't be on my Instagram, but there is one. I think there's a baseball down there somewhere. So.
Oh yeah, hold on. Now, admittedly, I now have 2 Instagrams now. I just for fun, I decided to split it. I got Live the Fuel, which is a business, and health is a lifestyle. But then I started one just under my name, Scott W. Mulvaney, and I share like food pictures and stuff on there because like I'm a big ketogenic training, fat adapted guy. So I'm sharing pictures of, like, olive oil and eggs and bacon and mountain biking and rock climbing and skydiving and all that stuff. So it's just.
If you looked at my personal Instagram.
See, you do have a personal. Okay.
Yeah, it's what is it?
You're just like me.
See Michelle Hayes, I think it might be. I don't know. See Michelle, something like that. If you look at, try See Michelle Hayes.
Wait, Michelle Hayes.
Oh, there it is. You see in the middle, Christine Michelle. So if you look at that, it's not branded at all.
Right? Like, our brands have more of a following than our personal following.
Yeah, like I don't focus on it. Fragrances, you'll see when I bruised myself because this lady couldn't find my thing. We've got food on it. We've got, that was all like keto, all the keto good stuff. And then, we've got winter is here because hello, who doesn't love it? So probably pictures of me at a baseball game, like you probably got all kinds of stuff.
That's good. See, you're balancing. See, you and I are doing some of the same things. We have our brand, core brand, then we have our personal brand.
Yes. And I ignore my poor stuff. I'm going to start posting on mine again soon. But that's my mom and my dad down there. Oh. Is that
your mom right here? Or is that your friend?
Journaling. So there's no wrong way to do it. And so what I asked her and challenged her to do was to be consistent. And I said, I want you to be consistent, and I don't want you to think of an end, like, when do I have to do it or how long I have to do it. So she just really started standing in who she was. She would ask a question. She would listen to her soul because it helped in tune her. Like, I found that journaling, when I do the stream of consciousness journaling, I really tune in and I trust my instincts. I trust myself. So I'm sharpening my ability to really trust my soul and really take the actions on it. And so when I challenged her to do that, in less than 7 days, she started, her sales increased. She just felt more like the leader in her industry. She just felt way better. And that was really to train her subconscious, because she kept writing that I am this, I have this is what I'm standing in. And then she would make decisions from that energy. And so that's what I use journaling for, is to really help you stand in the energy of being what you have. What you desire already now make decisions from that person already having it. So.
I love that. And actually, since you just said that, I'm going to share your site again, because when people go to your homepage, there's the 11 ways to lift your vibe.
Yes.
And honestly, when I first read that earlier, before we started the show, what you just said with your one client totally took me back to this. So that's why I wanted to bring this back up. Because, so what is this? Is this like an app? Is this an e-guide you download?
It's just, you download a guide. You'll get the guide. I also read the guide. It takes a few minutes to read it yourself, but I know we're all busy, so I did an audio because people like my voice for some reason. So I did an audio.
Yours more than mine. I don't know.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Start a podcast.
I want to. That's why I'm doing this and getting to know and all that fun stuff.
You're putting in the reps. You're getting
I'm putting
yourself outside your comfort zone.
I'm putting in the reps, and I on Facebook Live, I'm going to start doing some co-lives and like more, like you said, more of a conversation focused on energy and mindset and business, and like really bringing all of that, like creating a freedom-based business that you love. Like that's what we're doing. So, but in addition to that, you also get the feels audio, which is fun because it's just you press play and you feel freaking amazing. Like it builds you up to when the 11 minutes are over, you feel freaking amazing. So that's the fun stuff. That's what I love.
Sign up for amazing content, receive the Vibe Up freebie, and then you receive the How to Get Vibed Up Fast PDF. But again, as you just said, and the audio, the All Is Well Feels with a Z audio. So feel amazing in 11 minutes, no matter what is going on. So I like that.
Yeah.
Challenge, ladies and gentlemen, challenge. Your challenge to go to AnnaHobLife.com.
Yeah.
And at least try it, because everything that we talked about on this show today, because we are approaching the end of the show. I know, right? We're having so much fun. And it happens all the time. And it's like, wait a minute. We're asking you to take action.
Yeah.
Right? And this isn't even a lot of action. You literally just go visit a website and you stick your name and email in. And oh my God forbid you end up on somebody's email list. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, it's also the law. You can easily unsubscribe. Okay, so again, worst case scenario, you get something free, and then if you want to be a total jackass, you can just unsubscribe immediately. Like as soon as the confirmation email comes, you accept it, you get your free stuff, and then you immediately unsubscribe. That's usually not my best.
You can do that.
Obviously, there's a hack. There's your hack. And because I've done it. I'm like, I didn't really vibe completely with that person's brand, but I'm going to at least get myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to look at their work, look at their product, look at their service, and then it's either going to connect with me or it's not.
Yes.
That's all we're asking.
Right. Oh my God. And then you could also find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group. It's called The Aligned Soul Collective. And it's
just a letter?
Huh?
Is it just a letter like V?
It's THE.
Oh, the, okay.
The Aligned Soul Collective, or The Aligned Soul Collective. And you can just go to thealignedsoulcollective.com instead of Facebook, because that's
and it takes you right there.
So thealignedsoulcollective.com, and that'll take you straight to the Facebook page. And it's a great group. I just opened it to the public maybe like last month, I believe. And it there we go. And it is about 100 people, I think, like 96 maybe. And it's a great group. And that's where you can get access to me. A lot of people will have questions, how to manifest certain things, like how to create things in their lives, different things like that. And it's just been super, super fun. Super fun.
The best part of this is that the whole point of this is you're taking action and you're creating a presence in all areas. Like it's hard to crush it on every platform.
Yes.
Always have your website, always have your email list. That's business 101. Because we kind of started the show off on business, so always throw that back in there.
Yes.
Your email list is the one thing that you can control anywhere and everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook may go up, it may go down. Instagram may go up, it may go down. FYI, Facebook owns Instagram if you didn't know that. And LinkedIn and Twitter and Snapchat and all this other crazy stuff, right? But in the end, your email list is everything. But then I do love Facebook groups. I manage multiple communities online, and I have my own, actually. I did the same thing you did, right? It's called the fuel tank. Like I want people to get fuel in the fuel tank, right? So it's like, all right, well, so I created, Live the Fuel as a brand. So I just bought livethefueltank.com. It's like, there you go, just go there. It's just smart move. Like just give people an easy URL, just go there. So it takes you right to the Facebook group. You can join it. I'm sure you probably have like the little, do you have a questionnaire?
I don't. You can join and then I just approve. Come on in.
See, I like the questions. It's a psychological test.
Yes, it is.
People who actually know somebody who invited them into the group will answer the question. people who just randomly find my group on Facebook, like people from Thailand who apparently like cars. Like I look at their profile and there's just pictures of cars and motors. And when you see the word fuel, that means they just want to join it. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you're not joining my group because this is a group to help people grow.
Yeah.
And
I think
I want the right people in there.
you have a cool group name. So like for me, it's so clear that Aligned Soul Collective. And usually I get people that really want to align with their soul.
I would reinforce you 110%. Your message and your group name actually is probably even clearer than mine. So I don't think you're going to have people coming in your group who are muscleheads and love fast cars. So,
Yeah.
but apparently, if I ever wanted to start a sub brand, I could really lock people down quickly. This happens all the time.
You got this.
Yeah, just totally nail it. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, the Aligned Soul Collective. Aligned Soul is one word. So Aligned Soul Collective on Facebook. And it's, you get the free high vibe Facebook group for females who, yes, I don't mind saying it, fuck with soul and desire to manifest like magic.
Yes, because I do have a potty mouth.
Well, we don't edit. I already told you, we don't edit. I was actually impressed. I told you before we started the show today that you can say whatever you want. And I feel like you held back. This not any, because like I'm looking at your Instagram feed and you got, and your website, and there's stuff saying something and then AF. Well, clearly you're saying something and then as fuck. Right? So get fueled as fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have children, please stop playing it right now. As we close out the show, because we are coming to the end. So we're closing out on a very dirty potty mouth. But depending on who is listening to this, you may enjoy it. I don't know. So.
Oh my God.
Right? It's just express
You were so funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love all of it.
You'll appreciate this. I had a pretty clean vernacular until I moved west. And when I left the corporate world, I spent 2 years serving as a federal hotshot wildland firefighter. So like 2 weeks in the mountains fighting wildfires with chainsaws, shovels. Like that was my life, right? They just made a movie about us. Anyway, so I did that. And I came back and my mom was like, I didn't even know how I was speaking, but like you're living with 20 other dudes. You haven't showered in 2 weeks, living and camping in the mountains with wildfire. Like it's just, and there's girls who do this too, mind you, but it's few and far between. So I always respect the women that I've met doing that. So I'm just like, yeah, impressive.
Right.
No offense. I'm just like, you're backpacking 40, 50 pound packs like I am.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I wouldn't be there. I have much respect.
But when I came home, apparently like every third word was F this, F that, like fuck everything. And my mom was like, are you okay? And I was like, what? And she's like, you're kind of like a sailor. And I was like, oh, I really didn't notice that. And then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're doing 16-hour shifts on a fire line. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're dirty, you're sweaty, everybody smells. And it's like, yeah, it was fucking dirty. I mean, I'm sorry, to go with your branding, AF, it was dirty as fuck.
It's AF. It was dirty AF.
I mean, so I just didn't realize it because you do this for 6 months straight over a summer. You do 2,000 hours this way in a summer. 2,000 in a year. 2,000 hours summer. So it's like, I had no idea I got reprogrammed. And that was my language. And so it took me like, every year, it took me a few months of decompression. Because people here in the Northeast just weren't ready for that much aggression. I'm only an hour from New York City and an hour from Philly, mind you. Okay? I'm right in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We're not that far from two major cities. But everybody was like, are you okay? Are you angry? Like, you're very, I mean, your language is very aggressive. And I'm like, no, I'm just expressing myself.
Right. And sometimes the energy with which you use it is not even like aggressive. It's just a curse word. It's like, or a word that has been deemed.
Yeah, I had to bring this up at the end of the show because, ladies and gentlemen, we did discuss this before we started the show.
Oh, yes, yes.
Because like everybody's like, oh my God, they said shit, ass, or fuck. They're terrible. Well, first of all, at least here in the North America, I have people in other countries, right? So there's people listening to this show in other countries, but at least here in North America, USA, and definitely Canada. Canada's a little bit nicer than us. They are much more refined.
Yes.
But they're saying on national radio now. They say it in movies. They say it in TV. Like, the kids are going to hear shit and ass for sure. Yes, technically the F word is more, I guess, aggressive. So
I wrote a blog on that, and I said, who deemed cursing a curse word? I forget how it was. It was something on Facebook that I wrote, and I said it was just some antiquated person who probably needed to get fucked.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. I love that. It's like, oh, somebody has not gotten fucked in a while.
Yeah, so fuck is a bad word.
I mean, we are referring to the sexual connotation, correct?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Because I mean, like, people get fucked in their job all the time. I mean, it's just like, oh, I just got fucked.
That's the bad part of the word. No,
I think this episode will be the most times I said fuck on the show.
I'm such a bad.
See, I'm excited by this because we're just breaking through new barriers. So,
breaking through.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's my fucking show. If I want to say it, I don't care. If my co-hosts want to express themselves, I want them to express themselves. When you listen to these podcasts, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
When you're high energy and you're performing all out, there's no faking. You can't fake it when you're all in. That's one thing, the reason why I do this with the show, this format, this way. I hope you appreciate that. It's like, I'm not giving you a chance to pause and create the perfect answer. That's why I don't do Q&A. I can't stand Q&A podcasts. I'm sorry. Shout out to John Lee Dumas. I know you have a very successful show, but I can't stand your format anymore. Sorry. I know I did a selfie with you last week. But anyway, don't listen to a show anymore. The guys everybody knows John Lee Dumas online. I respect what he did. I respect his brand. I own his journals that I don't use. I bought his journals on Kickstarter. I told you I suck at journaling. I support him online, socially. If I see him at an event, I respect him. I love him. But I'm like, dude, can't stand it. I can't do Q&A. I can't.
Yeah. No, this was fun because it's fucking ridiculous. This was fun. We got to connect and go back and forth, and you got to share your stories, and then I got to share mine. So
I love how transparent you got with your mother. Thank you. I mean,
thank you.
There's the underlying principle of this format.
Yeah.
I want people to get so comfortable that they don't mind talking about these things, right? Because this is real.
Yeah.
That's the point of this.
You know what? We can end the show here, but I feel like in order for you to be successful in this world, it takes you being real. It takes you not caring what other people say. And I'm not saying to do something to intentionally hurt other people, but to really listen to your soul and not give a fuck about what is really coming out from inside. If it's something that you feel like you need to express it. And the more you're yourself, the more people you might piss off, but that's the more people you're going to bring towards you and magnetize to you, who are all your soul tribe and all the people that are all about you. Yeah. So be you, even if that means you say the fuck word, or the F word, or the F word, or you don't curse at all. It's all good.
I'm one of the few, now it's people starting to catch on. But back on episode 51, as we're recording this, we have 196 shows up. So we launched in September 2016, 2 a week, religiously. But back on episode 51, I left the Skype world. That's for podcast rookies. Went Zoom, pay to play. Now we have video, right? I air a video episode on YouTube. It's a whole different listening and watching demographic. I got people who bust my balls because on YouTube, because depending on the episode they watch, some of them are like, oh, that this fucking guy, he talks too much. He's such a narcissist. It's all about him. And I was like,
who, you?
About me. Yeah. And I was like, I just started laughing because I was like, you do know it's my show, you dumbass. One. Number two, this is free content. You're critiquing free content. Number three, I look at you. You have no followers. You don't even have a profile photo. And so I always respond, I'm like, thank you so much for that feedback. Please send me the link to your podcast show so I can learn from someone. And there's never a response.
No.
This has been going on for a year and a half. I just have, and then eventually I'm just too damn busy, so I just don't even care. I haven't looked at my notifications 6 months because, again, I don't care.
Nope.
I'm not here to please everybody, ladies and gentlemen, who is listening to this show to this point. It's like, I want to attract the right people. She is trying to attract the right people with the Aligned Soul Collective and everything else she's doing, right? Not everybody's going to click with Christine.
Nope.
Everybody's going to click with me. It's okay. All we're telling you to do is find the person you do click with.
Yes.
Find the influencer that's going to help you create change in your life, your business, your lifestyle.
Yes.
Stop sitting there spinning your wheels in the mud, especially down in New Orleans. You guys got mud down there. You know,
Yeah.
that's Florida, right? That you got the sandy mud. It's really annoying.
Yes. Yes.
But like, why allow that into your life? Take action, right?
Yeah, and be okay with that, because everybody's never going to agree with each other. And I'm always like, oh, interesting point of view. Cool. And you do you. I do me. Do you boo, like you showed on the screen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we are here to really have the contrast and see, oh, well, I don't agree with that. Well, what do I agree with? And focus on what you agree with and not trying to change somebody's mind. Like, that'll make your life so much easier.
Oh, do you know how much time people waste on trying to change somebody's mind?
Yes.
Guys,
too much.
Well, here's a little hack. The person I went mountain biking with earlier, he's a good friend of mine. He owns one of the CrossFit gyms that I train at. And his fiance is a scientist. Like, she works for one of the big pharma companies. Very, very intelligent woman. But she's so fun, high energy, active. So we all went mountain biking. My fiance came with us. We had a blast. And it's funny because, like, at one point during breakfast, as I'm cooking eggs and bacon, I pour the purest olive oil on the planet that I promote because they're from Italy. They don't pay me. I just talk about them all the time. It's amazing. Like, when you have pure, healthy goodness, it tastes different than everything else.
Yeah.
I literally, it's drop shipped from Italy. Like, there's no chance of being tainted in this country like every other olive oil here. So I pour it into these beautiful stemmed shot glasses. I walk them in. I'm like, hey, buddy, join me for a shot. And she's like, ooh, is that an aperitif? I'm like, no, it's olive oil. And they're like, and she says a response saying, she's like, well, that's fine if you don't have high cholesterol. And I was like, I'm not going to respond. I was like, I'm friends with her. I'm like, and Kristen, my fiance, she's like, oh, don't get Scott going. And I was just like, I just turned and I was like, I'm just here to have a shot, bro. And I was like, just taste it. Because I want you to know that there's something healthier and purer and better out there.
Yes.
Peppery after finish. I'm not asking you to, like, I do shots of olive oil, by the way, every morning when I wake up. So there's another health hack, ladies and gentlemen. It's called healthy fats. It's from a freaking fruit. Olive is a fruit.
And I'm sorry, cholesterol, as a doctor, you should know that comes from probably the sugars and the other stuff that we eat, and not from oils and fats.
We can have a whole other podcast about this, but again, I've had the heart experts on here that have resorted. Okay, guys, if you don't consume healthy cholesterol, your body will make it. Yeah. Cholesterol is actually required at the cellular level for cellular connectivity. I can really geek out about this. I'm not going to. So I'm going to pause on that and then follow it up with your heart disease, the inflammation in your blood vessels. It's not cholesterol.
Yeah, it's not from cholesterol.
Sugars and grains trigger inflammatory responses in your body. So when things inflame, that means you're constricting a blood vessel. It's not cholesterol. Cholesterol is a freaking lubricant. It's like motor oil in your body. It's amazing. I eat 4 sticks of bacon and 6 egg omelets. Okay? I am not a superhuman.
Yeah.
I'm 195 pounds, 6'4", and I'm doing my first triathlon next month. I bike hundreds of miles. I CrossFit. And I come from a family that all is obese. I love my family, but sorry, guys, they don't listen to my show anyway. But it's like, I love them, but it's like, guys, there's no genetic perfection here. It's a lifestyle. Because I have figured out what our government and everybody else is still teaching wrong. Yeah. And I brought an expert to talk about that. But again, some people may hear this and be like, Scott's an asshole. Go ahead, bro. But in the end, I'm living it. Yeah. Doing 100-mile bike rides, competing in endurance competitions, CrossFit competitions, proving that this shit works. Yeah. Like last year, I did a metric century, 63 miles on a road bike on just olive oil. Just olive oil. I didn't eat anything else that day. I had a shot glass of olive oil in my bike jersey.
That's crazy.
Just
That's
to prove a point.
awesome.
Now, granted,
Yeah.
it was my top performing event. But I'm like, because fat is energy.
Yeah.
And the body, once you get fat adapted ketogenic training, actually fuels itself better on fat.
Yeah.
And there's no inflammatory responses like sugar does. Anyway, I could rant about that forever. But again, you struck a chord. Again, people are going to hear this and be like, what is he talking about? He's not a doctor. He's not a scientist. And again, like she works with like monkeys and all kinds of stuff. And I respect what she does.
Yeah.
But it's like in the end, I'm interviewing on this show experts who actually know what they're talking about specifically on that subject. So what I'm talking about is coming from them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm just saying she, even at a scientific level, has not acquired the necessary knowledge to play with me. Because
Right.
I've actually interviewed the experts. That's the point. Like I'm not saying she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm just saying you just need to acquire the knowledge that I've acquired.
Exactly.
That's why
Or she can stay where she is because there's people that can meet
cool.
her where she is.
Yeah.
And then there's so many more people that are going to meet you where you are. And that's why it's like, it makes your life so much easier to allow
like not everybody's ready to understand. Like people hear collective and they might hear soul and they're like,
yeah, it's like,
I'm not very religious. It sounds woo woo. And
yeah.
collective. Oh my God, is that a cult?
Yeah.
And like, okay, people. One of the secret hacks to life, and this is how we're gonna bring this. We are so over our time. I don't care. Christine's having a She's
so
like,
fun.
It's like Christine's community is about. I mean, again, this is me just looking at your brand. I studied you before we started the show today.
Thank you.
I look at you and I'm like, okay, this chick cares about manifestation, and yeah, the girl woo, like she's an influencer. Woo just means influence people. It's not woo woo. It's like because it's actually one of my strengths from the book Strengths Finder 2.0, one of the tools I recommend. But you influence people in a positive way. Then you decide that you're creating such positive change, you want to create a community around that to help people feel welcome.
Yeah.
And surround themselves with people of like-mindedness.
Exactly.
You're not trying to attract 50 million people.
Nope.
You're only trying to attract 1,000. Because that's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to make everybody follow us. That's not what we're asking to do. We're just trying to get through to a certain percentage of people and create positive change.
Yes.
So that's what I care about. So
impact is my number one thing, is to impact and allow. And my passion happens with women because 20 years in the corporate community and women feeling like, oh, I don't get paid enough or I don't do this enough. Take that power in your own hands and stop giving it away. We can stand on our own, and you can create the life that you love, get more money and like receive more money and help more people, impact more people while doing what you love.
Yeah.
That is why I do what I do, because you just limit yourself when you're so focused on what everyone else is doing and trying to make everyone happy and like all of that. So that is why I do what I do. Exactly what you said.
And again, I love it because like, okay, I'm a dude, and clearly the core of your brand is targeting women. And yes, you can work with men, but let's be real. Part of the secret of sales and marketing is like stop trying to like sell to everybody, like figure out your niche and target that. For example, the episode that I aired yesterday, I got to get you hooked up with her because she has her own podcast now too. She is the author of the book. I'm going to share this to you. She is known as the Chief Sexy Boss.
Oh, I love that.
Her book is called Sexy Boss. I knew you'd vibe off of that. So Heather Havenwood, man, just aired her yesterday. And I think you would vibe with her because she talks about the same thing, right? Corporate space. And here's the best part. I spent time working with T-Mobile. Most of my bosses were women. For some reason, in the call center world, the customer service world, tons of women, very, very little men. It was very intriguing. Like I found most of my teams, I used to manage 30 person teams. I'd say 75% were women.
Yeah, I worked in a call center too, Sears.
Okay. I go. Right? So it's like
back in the day.
Okay. And then clearly as people work their way up in the company, just based on the law of averages, more women. Mm-hmm. And I knew women making very, very good money. So this whole thing about, oh, women don't get paid enough. Trust me, I knew some women making way more money than I was. So yes, I do agree there is still some disharmony there. I'm not skating over that. Yeah. But to your point and to what she and I talked about in an episode, you might want to listen to it, is that there is this constant struggle and balance, especially for women. And I respect this, I've seen it. And my fiance is an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
And she's got three other women that she works with in her veterinary practice. So it's all girl power. And I support that. I love it because there is still this disharmony of masculinity versus femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And you ladies are constantly trying to prove, not all of you, but I mean some of you, and I'm not trying to rub my other guys, I've seen it. It's like there is a certain percentage of female professionals that they're constantly trying to prove themselves. Because I've been there in my early part as a guy. Like I tried too hard to prove myself and kept getting passed over for promotion. Another reason why you just become an entrepreneur. But anyway, in the corporate space, trying to please people, right? It's like I was working too hard. It's like, guys, like, whether you're male, female, transsexual, I don't care. Your work sells itself.
Yes.
And I hope, granted, I know I've seen things where female professionals haven't always seen it, the fact that they're kicking ass and taking names and their work is selling itself and they're still not being recognized. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Certain percentage, not to get all political, but it's like, yes, that still exists. But in the big scheme of things, to your point, I still am seeing this disharmony and this balance of female professionals have gotten so masculine to prove themselves that they've lost some of the balance of the femininity that you exude and that Heather exudes. And that's her point. It's like, you can be a sexy boss. Like,
yes,
you should be a strong, powerful woman and still have some of those masculine traits, but still remind yourself that you're a woman, right? And be proud of that. So.
Yeah. And I think that, oh my goodness, we're going over, but I got to say this, but so everybody has both masculine and feminine energy inside them. You have both, I have both, right? We all have it. And when you're in the corporate space, because you're proving yourself, especially as a woman, like you're not supposed to, be emotional. You can't show your feelings and all this stuff that you've been told, that you flip into this masculine mold and you push, and you be, you're forgetting to be beautiful. You're forgetting to be sexy. You're forgetting to be yourself. And what I've seen is I was blessed to be able to work for a sexy company. I worked for Victoria's Secret. Right. We wore whatever we wanted. They had some of the most powerful women, most successful women, but that's because they were also able to show a little cleavage. They were able to be themselves and not hide themselves. And then when I retired and moved to Tampa, I was going to start my own business. We were going to do a boutique, and then I was going to focus on that piece. And then, I was really tired because I was working traveling 75% of the time. We were doing the international side of Victoria's Secret. So once I left, I needed to rest and sleep. So I rested enough to run out of all of my savings, and it was about a year later. And then I rested myself right back into corporate America. So when I went to corporate America, I went back into the beverage industry. So that was similar to where I was with Coke. And when I stepped in, it was like I stepped back 900 years. Women, we could wear whatever we wanted, but not really. You had to cover yourself. And one day I had a little bit of cleavage on. Somebody was like, "Oh my God, you have cleavage." I'm like, "Yeah, I do.
I'm a woman with boobs.
I big boobs too, and yeah. I'm not going to hide them. Like, but and then the more I stood in who I was and me being myself, everybody else acclimated to that because I was stronger and more set in knowing that I was okay. And so they weren't reflecting back to me my worries because if I was honest with myself, I was a little worried about having the cleavage and a little worried about being a woman.
Of course.
Of men.
The culture created this self-conscious issue.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I know there's all these conversations, which we're not going to get into today, about sexism and assaults and all these things, right?
Yeah.
I'm not getting into it. And it's unfortunate it does exist. But in the end, you should be proud to be a woman. You should be proud to be a man. You should be proud to be a transsexual. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. Like, your life is your life. In the end, your work should sell itself. That's it.
And your energy sells it, like your energy behind it, right? Yeah. So the work that you're doing, if it's hard, you're pushing, but you're not confident behind it, that's going to sell itself because you're not confident. The energy that you put into it wasn't a confident energy. You didn't believe in what you did. But if
I got to get you connected to this. I actually, every podcast I try and think of who I can connect to another show. I'm definitely going to send you over to Heather because, hold on, I got to do this again. Here's one of her things from her personal, because she's got 2 Instagrams too. You'll love this one. I just found this on her personal Instagram feed. Sexy boss bitches.
I love it.
And I'm sweet as pie. Like she's all like closed up, content. Like there's some serious cleavage there. We brought this up.
I love it.
I was just like, I brought that up at the end of the show when we did ours. And I was just like, that's confidence. That's
confidence. And you just,
granted, she's not walking around like that all the time, but it's like, dude, you're a woman.
be a woman. You know, I hate there was this thing that somebody wrote, and being 42, I was pissed as fuck, but then I was like, okay, I'm letting it trigger me, so why am I triggered? But anyway, it was about Demi Moore, and she still had the long, beautiful hair, and they were like,
oh my God, when she came out in that last, what's the female special forces,
oh yes, it was so, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Not Golden Girls, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's not a Bond flick, it's a, whatever. She was the bad girl in that.
Yes, and she looks freaking amazing.
When she pulled up in that red sports, like Ferrari, wherever it was, and got out, I was like, she's like 50-some years old.
Yes.
I was like, holy crap, Demi.
She's gorgeous.
Just
owned it. Right?
She's got like the wetsuit, the surfboard coming off the beach. I'm just like, oh my God, I've got hots for a MILF. That could be a GILF. Sorry.
But it's like, so when somebody said, oh, well, when women reach a certain age, it's not fair or right advertising for them to have super long hair because, oh, that's too young or whatever. And I was like, screw you. I will be 95 and I will have hair down to my ass because I love long hair. And no one can tell me that because I'm a certain age that I can't be young and can't be vibrant and can't be playful and fun and beautiful. I mean, no one tells, guys, oh, you can't do this because you're too old or she's too young for you, blah, blah, blah. No, women, I'm all about fucking all of the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Forget the rules. Be you. Gorgeous. Yes. Okay. I think, yes.
Charlie's Angels.
Cameron Diaz as well.
Charlie's Angels, right? And again, she's not as old as Demi, but like, dude, that scene from the last Charlie's Angels, like 40-some and 50-some, and I'm just like, what? There you go, man. These ladies are owning it. Long hair.
I mean, look at Jennifer Lopez. She's what, 47, 46? I don't know.
She's approaching 50 now, too. It's still hot.
Yeah, it's like we're all hot. Like, you can be as hot as you want to be, as high as you want to feel. And forget the rules. Don't let anyone tell you the way you need to be. You can be in your corporate job. Like, I do have a program where I'm trying to help women step out of their corporate job and step into the life that they love. But if that's where you want to be, you can be in that corporate job, be as sexy as you want to be, and still be the badass that's telling everybody the way things are, like telling them the strategy and the marketing and all of the things. You can, if you're 100% complete and knowing that you can be the sexy boss. So I love that. I am all about that.
I'm getting connected to her. You just gave me my action item for the day.
Yay!
It's like, because you girls would vibe, I think, so well. And I think that's some of the secrets of podcasting or social media, right? Or your private mastermind groups is like getting people connected with the right people. And
so fun.
But listen, every co-host closes out the podcast with their final words. Not to
yay.
You got so much energy. I know you got this. But like we've talked about so much today.
So much.
Is there something all-encompassing or a final message or final words you want to leave behind to people if they forget everything else we already talked about? And while you think of that, I'm going to share, it's not the best high-res image, but this was the one I was talking about. Like, she's just ridiculous.
She looks freaking amazing.
Right? Like, there's Demi Moore about to get into her, I think that was a Ferrari, mind you, on the scene of Full Throttle from Charlie's Angels. Go back and watch that movie. And I never bring this stuff on podcast, but this is hilarious. So, but anyway, how you want to close the show out?
Well, I want to close it out just by letting everybody know the most important thing is about being more you. So just be aware if you're dimming down your light or not being open or listening to all the experts and doing what they say you should do instead of listening to yourself and doing what you feel you should do inside. Even if it's totally different, do it. And just the more you follow that, the more you take your aligned soul actions, to follow your instincts, follow your heart, the most amazing things will open up in front of you and life will just give you more of what you desire. So just that's what I want to say. Just listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to what you're hearing and the next steps that you should do and do them. Take the action, and your life will be totally different from where you even see yourself a week from now.
That's awesome. All right, well, listen, hang tight. You're probably going to buy off the air. But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's a long show. We dropped some more F-bombs I think we ever did in this show's history. I'm going to do a final screen share of our video feed. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, check out AnaHobLife.com, AnaHobLife. Again, she told you, listen to your heart, but not just that. Actually take action, okay, people? Make the mistakes. You're going to learn. That's part of life. That's part of business. You got to take action. So thanks for listening in to another powerful Anna Hobb Life and Live the Fuel.
Yes.
For today. So again, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you too can live the fuel. We'll talk to you guys again soon. You're free of the pod. I leave the video on for extra fun. So the YouTube gets a little extra love because not a podcast.
Hi, YouTube.
So I hope you had some fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was so fun. Thank you for having me. The conversation was freaking amazing.
And that's why we don't script the show.
Yes. I love it.
Now, granted, not every podcaster can do that. I'm just, according to my fiance, a little crazy. So I go with it. So, yeah.
It was great. It was fun. It was one of my funnest podcasts. I think I've done 4 this far. So you've been.
I was going to ask you how many you've been on yet. So
I think it's like 4 so far.
I hope this inspires you to keep doing more.
It does. Like I'm really like I said, I have a book coming out. It's called the AlignedSoul Collective. That'll come out in November. Okay. And my publisher was like,
we should get you back on.
I know. I'm so excited about
it. By November, like I air 2 shows a week. So it's like I have such a rotation. It's like, it's already going to make sense. Like normally in the past, it was like from 16 to 17. It took about a year for me to think about who I want to bring back on. That was actually really awesome that I enjoyed the conversation with, but I love your energy. So like, just take a note, like, hey, maybe in October, let's record to get ready to help support your launch.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I will. I'm ready to do it.
Professional. It's like, this is a marketing platform.
It is. I feel so happy to be here. And you just been so cool. Like, it was really fun to talk to you. I feel like we could just talk all day about all the things.
I talk too much. And she didn't listen to the show. She's like, listen, when you get as good as Joe Rogan, maybe I'll listen. But, all right, I'll take it. I mean, Joe Rogan's an interesting character. I'll just say that. I don't know if I can pull that. I don't know if I want to.
You'll be as interesting as you.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, the invite is open.
Oh, thank you so much. I would love to come back.
I need to get around to writing my book too about the whole wildland firefighting lifestyle transformation.
Yes, that sounds so interesting.
I can't even journal. Talk about writing. I think I'm just gonna set aside a chunk of cash, and then I'm gonna use that app. There's an audio app where you can just send audio files in and they transcribe it.
Yes.
It's like $1 a minute.
You can do Timmy. You can do Trent. There's a couple of free apps as well that you can speak and you can transcribe it. And you speak your book out.
The best part is I've had on a number of ghostwriters, and they're like, Scott, you do know you have like literally, well, now almost 200 shows. Like, even if you could just submit every single show and have it transcribed, and then just pull all the firefighting related chunks out of it, because you probably talk a little bit about it in every single show, and you probably have more than a book.
You really do. So. Well, yeah.
I mean, well, let's see. It's 200 episodes, and on average, most shows, not this one, are 60 minutes long. So $1 a minute, 60 minutes times 200 shows. So I'd be looking at $1,200.
You know, but there's a free one, and if I think about the name of it, I'll send it to you. But you just upload your audio.
Facebook message me or whatever. Like,
it does it. Yeah, I would definitely.
I got to get you. I got too many markers now. Connect to Heather.
Thank you.
I got to get that done before the day's out. She's awesome. I think you'd have a lot of fun with her.
No, I love already her Instagram. I have to go follow it. And I have to follow you. I love the show. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And we've had a lot of fun. Some shows are different than others. So this one will definitely be standing out there. So
thank you.
I might have to put that in the blog article. We have broken the F-bomb record on I might even put that out on my email list. I might have to put that on my email list. We'll just see if that drives the downloads, because everyone's like, what? I need to go listen to that show. So we're going to get you maximum exposure just based on the AF and the F-bomb.
And the F-bomb. Thank you.
Yeah, fucking A. And then I think in the show's title, we're gonna have, for SEO, we might have to add in diva lighting into the episode. I gotta take note of that too. Diva
We have to. We talked about the diva light for like 10 minutes.
Exactly. Diva
It's
lighting.
the best.
And then, oh yeah, and then fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how cursing is antiquated because there's no such thing as cursing. There's a lot more worse words in the world than fuck.
And this is why I keep the show going. I never know what the hell's going to happen next. It's awesome. So I'm glad you had some fun.
Oh, I had so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. I'm like, oh.
If you can leave the show with your abs hurting, win. Because it's like, oh my God, I got to go hydrate. I got to get some salt tablets. Like, I think I'm going to have a cramp. So.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's anything else I can do for you, thank you for honoring our show and helping me create another episode. It's going to be powerful. I love it. I can't wait to get it up. Usually I'm airing shows within about a week or two. I try not to let them last too long. I try and keep them fresh. So, and then yes, take note to come back in, like, let's say October.
Yeah.
Start making a list of like your favorite podcasts. This is your hack that you want to see if you can get back on before book launch or right around book launch, because that's going to add to your marketing campaign.
That is
and then
so
the other trick is, if you get your podcast going, and let me know if you need help with that, get on other podcasts. I had 3 people in the past month, like, how did you grow your show? I'm like, number 1, I keep putting in the reps and airing shows. Number 2, you cross-pollinate. You go on other people's shows and you welcome them on your show. Oh, I don't normally have guest co-hosts or guests. I just talk to people. I'm like, then at least get on other people's shows. Like, you can't reciprocate. You might want to try, but cross-pollinate, because then you're promoting each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing on Facebook. So starting next week, every Thursday, I might even do it twice a week. I'm incorporating like someone who's a spiritual entrepreneur or some kind of entrepreneurial woman onto my Facebook Lives so that we can talk.
Are you doing like co-host of Facebook Live stuff?
Yes, and we're going to do it through Zoom because audio, because I need the audio to automatically extract.
You do, and have you tested that yet?
Yes, I've done a couple of Zoom.
You have to pay for the webinar feature.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And I don't know if they fixed it yet, but then when Facebook released the new security update because of the whole privacy.
Yeah, it wasn't working for a little bit.
Right. So their hack was you actually had to go in and schedule it as an event on your Facebook page first.
That's what I did.
And then air it in. That was the workaround. I don't know if that's still the workaround.
You don't have to do it anymore. I think it's fixed.
Thank God. I'm going to start paying for it. Because I started doing that, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I shut it down. I wasn't paying an extra $40 or whatever. But I've done a couple, and they're powerful. Because
I love Zoom webinar. Zoom is awesome.
Well, then you save the audio, you save the video. Now you got audio for podcasting, and you got video for YouTube.
Yes.
You put on Facebook, you put it on YouTube.
Exactly. I know. You're right, because I've been like, oh, I'm going to put a little picture of it, or create my own thumbnail and all of that stuff to get it up on YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? That's me trying to be perfect. Let me just put all of that stuff.
And then when I got bored, like a month later, I went back and made a thumbnail for it. And it's like, there's successful sales trainers like Grant Cardone and shit. Like, he just airs shit. He doesn't even select the thumbnail. Like, it's usually him, like, or something.
I love that. See, you motivated me. I think I'm going to start doing that. I have so many Facebook Lives.
People like imperfection. The most viral shit on YouTube is imperfection. So
yes.
And then, but if and when you get your podcast going, and this is not the most elaborate setup, but I'm gonna take this off in a while. See if I get enough wire. You got to go hardware. Let me see if I can show you this. So this is a portable digital recorder, the Zoom, not the same company, the Zoom H5. I recommend.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna buy the new H6 though, and then that's my mixing board. So everything is leaving the laptop and then dumping into the soundboard, but then it dumps out to my digital recorder. Why? I don't use the Zoom audio file for my podcast. I use that.
Because it sounds clearer.
Well, this microphone, this cable, that digital recorder is using what's called XLR cables and XLR microphones. This is the same shit that professional musicians use.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's why I sound so sexy. I mean, hold on a second. let me take the sex away. So now, do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you notice a change?
It's not as deep and wonderful.
So the point is that I'm now using.
You sound like a radio. Like it sound like radio.
Right.
The way you sound, it sound great.
So I tell people, like, take your audio seriously. Maybe you don't need a full mixer board or a boom mic or whatever, but like the other advantage of this is I can take that recorder with me with microphones and I do live podcasts.
Yeah.
Take it to an event and sit down with people and actually record and then just upload the files later. So I actually I'll take my tripod with the iPhone and I go do I think tomorrow I might be doing this with another podcaster locally here. I'm going to bring my tripod iPhone. We're going to do a Facebook Live, but I'm going to be recording on this with the physical microphones. But then before I post it to Facebook after finishing the live, I will save the file to my iPhone so I can use for YouTube.
Oh.
But I have separate audio tracks there. So I just upload them.
That's so smart. Okay. So I'm going to have to send you an email.
During the show, if all this crashed, I would literally just hit pause on that physical recorder, bring everything back up, relink to you, and then hit go. And
you would always still have your recording. You wouldn't have to worry about losing it.
That's it. And then as far as the video goes, I'd have to have my editor piece the video tracks back together. But the audio, the podcast core content is right here.
Right.
So that's why, my coach, Michael O'Neill of the Successful Solopreneur Hour podcast for entrepreneurs, he's the one, he's like, Scott, he's a drummer. He's like, go hardware. So,
see, you're telling me all the good things. See all the things I need to know before I get started.
The funny thing is, like, all these podcasters now are starting like, I'm gonna train you how to. There's like a ski professional that I met him in person. We went on each other's podcast, and like now he's releasing his own online training program to help you launch your podcast. He's been around for like 6 months. People are like, how come you don't do podcasting? I was like, that's not my brand. I don't care.
Right.
You don't doing that, but it doesn't inspire me. Like, I do love teaching people shit, but I'm like, yeah, I can teach you. I can show you everything I've done. Let me know. I'm not going to market it that way. That's not my thing. All right.
And you're focusing on what inspires you. That's good.
Like my tag when I'm not podcasting is I don't help you get your brand online. I help you control how your brand exists online. Like, don't just slap it up there. Let's now get strategic. Let's dig into the shit. Like, I think I could slap something up online.
That's so true. And I don't know, like you said, I took, because working with Coca-Cola, working with Victoria's Secret, just being a brand person who's all about a brand, I know I could just throw everything up there. I know I didn't need my mic and I didn't need this and I didn't need that. But it just felt good for me. I felt more professional. I felt more ready when I'm put together and when I'm more strategic about it. And yes, I'm all about following soul, but I also like to have a plan and a strategy, and then I can just change and go as I go. Like, I felt more free when I have things that are already planned and ready to go to do what I desire in the moment. You know, it just helps me to be.
I'll tell you, when you start putting in the reps, as you know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I go back and I purposely listen to my first 3 episodes because they suck compared to what I've done today. But it's like, fine. It's like I think my first 10 episodes were all live.
Yeah.
I didn't even leave the Skype world and the live world until episode 51. So it's like that didn't happen until 2017.
Wow.
So there's a life cycle there.
Yeah.
And as you keep doing stuff like this, like, as you can tell, I just don't care anymore. I'm like, it's so easy now. Let's flow, man. Let's just let the energy go.
Right. Learn as you go. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
If you get too structured and too restrictive, I think you lose some of the creative freedom. And then the power of like not being afraid to say fuck. Like, it's like,
yes.
Oh darn, I might have said it 50 times on this show. Maybe I think we're on 20, 25.
And not being yourself.
I'm going to put a challenge out to my followers. I'm like, hey guys, make sure you go listen to the episode with Christine of the Aligned Soul, because we're going to have a challenge. Who can tell me how many times we said fuck? There's a variation of fuck. And
so that includes AF, people. Includes AF.
That's true, actually, and include acronyms. Yes,
Acronyms.
we are a former corporate. You got to
Yes.
respect the acronym. FYI, Live the Fuel actually stands for Live the Fired Up Epic Life.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
I needed my own acronym. So
Fired up epic life. Yes.
firefighting, adrenaline junkie, the word epic, yeah. So, but yeah, when you are ready to launch your podcast, trust me, I'll be there for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
I
yes.
love going to other people's shows. It's fun. So, and from Google perspective, I put everybody else's shows on my website. So I have hey, these are all the shows that I've been on, because that's what Google wants.
Oh, yes. I'm definitely going to have a sheet for, I think the first one launches on the 31st. I recorded it a couple weeks ago. So yes, I cannot wait. I'm going to put all of that, because to me, that's also yes, you can get in print and that's great, and magazines, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like podcasts, you can really connect with me as a person, because you'll hear me, you'll hear what I'm saying. You'll really
be listening to podcasts.
Oh my God. I've been listening to podcasts for so long.
Self-development, right?
Yes, self-development work. Even just small things like, she did it her way. I've been listening to podcasts probably when that first icon of podcast came, when I first got my first iPhone.
Oh, you might have me beat. I didn't even know what the hell that purple icon was.
Yeah.
I started listening I downloaded the Stitcher radio app. That's my favorite podcast app on the iPhone. And then I was like, oh, there's an iTunes? Like when I watch my show, I'm like, everybody's always like, you listen to podcasts, oh, make sure you follow us on iTunes. I'm like, how do you follow them on iTunes? So I was like, there's an iTunes podcast app. And unfortunately, iTunes, and the best part is the iTunes podcast app sucks.
Yeah, it's not the best, but I love it. I use it.
As a podcaster, it's fucking awful. There's another one. Rack it up. That's why I got the whole show. I am actually going to put that challenge out there. Oh, what's happening? I'm tweeting that. Oh, yeah. How many times can I say fuck?
That counts.
I'm so excited. This is the most transparent episode ever.
Yay!
I
help you to be more you.
You're taking me back to my firefighting days, because it was like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything. There's 3 more for you.
But we're saying it with a fucking joy and fucking amazing. Like,
it's fun. And it's like, why do we care so much?
Exactly. Easy breezy. That's my easy flow is my motto.
Well, look at what you've done. You have way more of a following than I do. I have more downloads than you have followers. But if you look at my social media, I have nothing compared to what you've done. So you have really tapped in to something powerful, and I respect that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love it.
Social media marketing guy, I geek out on that shit. I'm just like, see that? That's how it's done. So, like, I can't drop the mic, but I'll like drop it. Like, you can do that. And that's the best part is you've already got a following. So if and when you finally get your podcast going, girl, I launched my podcast to build a following. You already have a following. That's gonna be powerful.
Yeah. And the thing about the publisher, he was just like, well, first do the book, and then after the book, you can do the podcast. But, of course, I don't follow rules, especially now that I left corporate America. So I'm like, I want my podcast first. And I just feel like I could connect.
We need to challenge ourselves, and we're free thinkers. That's the point.
Exactly.
Oh shit, I almost forgot. I told you how I hate writing, but I've now been published in 3 different issues of this magazine in the past 6 months. So
see, you right?
So apparently I can write.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it. I actually will accept the fact that I lied or I was just inaccurate. So I just got published again. Actually, that issue is now just getting mailed out now. But they release it's called Network Magazine. They release a new issue every quarter. And
that's cool. Congratulations.
And the best part, power networking. I met that dude like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And then all of a sudden he emails me one day. He's like, hey, you're that health and fitness networking guy, right? I'm like, never been called that before, but sure.
I'll take it.
You want to write for our magazine? I'm like, not really, but yeah, I'll get myself outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Put something together. Give me your word limit. I've never even used the word count in Microsoft Word in my life. Like, I kept clicking on them. I'm like, am I there yet? Am I there yet? I haven't worked yet.
What else do I have to say? No, yeah, my if anyone follows me on Facebook, I write. I love to write. So my posts are like long, but I break them up in a way and I put emojis. I help you out so that you can feel what I'm saying. But I just love to write. Love, love.
Well, listen, I'm a big fan of the live life. So if you ever need, obviously, I don't really fit your demographic, but if you ever need a dude to break things up in your live life, let me know, because there's another podcaster from Idaho. She and I did. She was supposed to create this, and then she never really followed through on it. But we did like one or two like wine lives or some shit. Like we had to drink wine and just talk about shit over Facebook Live. And I was like,
Oh, awesome. I was thinking about me and my sister love Moscato, and I love any kind of wine, but my sister really loves Moscato, so we drink Moscato, right? I know I love the sweet, and for some reason we love Moscato. But I love Tempranillo. I love it. Really, I love any wine. But I was thinking about doing something over Moscato or over wine, like just.
Oh my God, you should do. I'm tapping in my femininity. Oh my God, you should do. Is she local, or you can be doing remote?
My sister, she's here. We live together.
I was to say, because it'd be fun. You should do like, hey guys, here's the latest live episode, and every episode you taste a different wine you've never done.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be fun, because like I said, I love wine.
I've learned so much about wine from my fiance. She went to Cornell for veterinary education, and then went to UPenn, way above me. I went to Penn State, and anyway, that's the Finger Lakes of New York, so they're big on their wine. And so now, since being with her, I've been to Napa Valley, and then
Napa! I love Napa.
Oh, we crush Napa Valley, and then in November we went to South Africa, and
awesome!
We went down for an equine conference. But so for the first week we went for fun. The second week was actual work related.
Yeah.
I mean, it was educational for her, and then I just kept going on safaris. I even did an aerial safari. I went on one of those little like, it looks like a go-kart with wings on it.
Wow!
I thought I was gonna die. I'm an adrenaline junkie. But the point is, oh my God, it's called the Franschhoek Wine Valley, north of Cape Town in South Africa. Their wines are ridiculous.
I heard it's really good.
If you ever go to the wine store again, look for anything South African. If you can see Franschhoek, try some of that shit. That valley was settled when the French were being persecuted in Europe, and a lot of them left and migrated outward. And the French settled this historic valley in very harsh soil for South Africa. But if you know anything about wine, the best wines are ones that have to, struggle and dig deep into the mineral-rich soil. I know all this shit now. I knew nothing about this 2 years ago. It's like, dude. So, yeah, I can wine with you now.
Yes, we can do wine, and we can just wine and chat, and like I said, my joy comes from talking about like energy and mindset, all of that stuff, because I mean it's everything. My sister,
we need to get a podcast going.
Yeah, and we laugh because like I wrote a blog about how I'm not your guru, because people are so judgmental when it comes to like
people have written on that subject now,
right? And I was just like, well, I like reality TV. I can sit there and I can watch it, and I like the energetics of it, because I could say, oh my God, like I was like, look, Ari picked the other girl because she thought he was gonna, she knew the relationship was gonna work. I can do that, and I can talk about things that are happening in real life and make this whole like woo-woo manifestation stuff real for people. Because a lot of times when we just go, to talk about things that happened in the 19th century and things like that, people don't connect with it as much. And I want to bring it into this real world. And so wine and talking and just chit-chatting is like, that sounds fun. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, and that's entertainment. Like, Kristen, I don't know the name of this one. The one podcast she listens to is these two, I don't know if it's called Drunk Bitches, and that sounds very negative.
Oh no, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
These girls are comedians.
I think I know what one you're talking about.
Oh, they're always talking about their exes. It's a show about like people it's literally, it's like Guys We Fuck.
Guys We Used to Fuck. Yes, I love that. I love it.
That show. Loves it. Loves it.
I love it too. That's my show. I love that.
More fucks for the contest.
Yes.
But so there you go.
So crazy,
classic
but it's
example
so funny
of entertainment.
Yeah.
And the best part is
really...
oh shit, I just gave you a hack. This has turned into a coaching call. On YouTube anyway. Because I'm still recording all this. Don't worry about the podcast.
Yeah.
Do the video. Because if you're gonna do Zoom and you're gonna do Facebook Live, there's your podcast.
That's what I've been led to do.
Everyone's, because if you love video and you thrive on video, then the audio is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Because if you love video and you love Facebook Live, go with your strengths, and then ancillary, like I do. Like I love podcasting, and I don't mind video either, so I double dip. Like let's go ahead and push that shit to YouTube too. Same thing.
That's exactly what I've been led to do. Especially this week, I've been saying, you know what? I'm just going to do the Zoom. The Zoom automatically kicks out the audio. My podcast is done. The only thing that was like, with Facebook Live, I'm like, hi, like you have people coming in and there's that interaction.
So you're not going to have my backup plan, but in the end, it's about taking action. There's 3/4 of the podcasters out there are doing everything software based. So granted, you can't do what I do, but then again, if you don't plan on ever going into doing live podcasts and stuff too, why spend the $300-400 on a digital recorder, right? Like I could just launch my whole show, and then when I'm ready to graduate, I can graduate. So.
Exactly, and make it more interactive and all that stuff, and do live. No, you're right. That's what I've been led to do, and that's what I was journaling about, because I journal and it was just about like I could just use that and forget all of the other stuff. It's going to be called the Aligned Soul. So yeah. Done and done.
I mean, I think we just crushed it. Check.
Done.
Zoom Live, new wine tasting every round. Outload the audio content right to podcast because you already got it.
Yes.
I mean, you clearly know how to launch a brand. So all you got to do is just either take your core logo and make that the show's logo, or create something new and unique. Or, sorry, we need to end this, but
I know.
Use the brand of the new Facebook group for the podcast. And it's like, listen, guys, like this video feed, this is an example of what we're creating in our podcast community. So if you want to dig deeper and really surround yourself with like-minded people, so the name of the podcast is the name of the Facebook group. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the Aligned Soul Collective or something like that. That would be cool.
Cross-pollination? I don't know.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people, they create Facebook groups specifically for their podcast. And I was like, I'm not doing that because I have too many groups. So I'm like, just throw them in the Aligned Soul Collective. And I wanted to do more video just for them, like just.
Well, yeah, you could still then you could still dump in and then just do a live video in the group.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's awesome.
Right.
So
cool. Me, like when I air my stuff, I just share it into the fuel tank. I'm like, it's already my community. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna share the podcast in there too. I mean, if you get it. If you don't, you don't. And like when the communities are young, you're still trying to like inspire people to actually freaking communicate in there.
Right. And they're starting now, but they're still.
Guys, eventually, I don't want to be the only one posting in here.
Right. Talk to each other.
I have a CrossFit nutrition community that I started 4 years ago now. It's got over approaching 5,000 people in there from around the world. So now I don't even post in there anymore. I might have been in there a week ago. They're just talking to each other, and I'm like, it's all self-motivated.
Yeah. They said it takes till you get to 500 to when you first start to see the interaction and the people
Sounds about right, because I don't know if I'm at 500 just yet. I'm approaching there. So, yeah. But there's one main guy known as the Blind Blogger. He posts a lot because that's just what he does. He loves to type and he loves to post. He's blind.
That's awesome.
Great guy, Maxwell Ivy. Actually, I'll see him again shortly. He's not going to be speaking at a podcast conference in a few months. So I spoke there last year, right outside of Philly. So if you want to get inspired for podcasting, that's smaller. Like this week is the big podcast movement concert that's in Philly, or conference that's in Philly, like the 3-4 days. But it's during the week. Whereas my buddy started MatCon, which is the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference, and he's smart. He stages it over the weekend. So people who have a full-time job, like they can't take off Monday through Wednesday to go to a conference. So, and
the reason why you should quit. No, I'm just
yeah, but not even that. But it's like I have my own business, and I don't want to go during the week. I'm busy making money. So,
right, you're busy doing the money stuff.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Oh my God, 2 hours. We've been talking for 2 hours.
I don't think I've gone. Well, I haven't gone this long in a long time. So this is an endurance podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. Although again, YouTube got half of it. So yeah. So again, the YouTube watchers, guys, you got way more content than the audio podcast world. You got some
way more, and I even brought out some new stuff we talked about. So hello.
People are gonna be launching podcasts now and Facebook groups and hopefully
and just doing it, right? I think the gist of this was all about just take the freaking action. If you feel like you should do something, do it and try not to make it perfect. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just do it. Just do it. It'll get better along the way.
Damn right. Trust me. Go back and listen to episode 1 through 3 or 1 through 5 of my show.
Yes.
It was decent. But...
Now you're fabulous.
Fabulous. Yeah. Well, listen, have a wonderful day.
You too.
I have my action items. I'll get you, I'll be marking Diva Light on my influential.
Yes.
I'll be connecting to Heather Havenwood, the sexy boss.
Thank
you. We're going to have to post like a social media contest to count all the fucks and ass fucks. So.
Yes, we got to do that. I'm gonna post about it today. Oh my God.
I'm going to have to say there's going to be a 2-phase contest. You have to listen to the podcast. But then if you really want to conquer the contest, you actually have to go watch the YouTube video because there's way more fucks than this.
Right. I think there's like 20.
I think we passed it. No. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch. Damn it, now I got to go back and watch the video now too. Because I got to know the answer if I'm going to launch a podcast.
Yeah, oh, you do. You have to know the answer. So you got to figure that out.
It's okay.
This was so fun.
I'm gonna pour a big scotch and just sit back and just laugh my ass off.
Yeah, this was really fun. Like I said, I think I've worked my abs more than I've worked them in a long time.
I'm a giver.
I appreciate that.
I hope I inspired some new video or podcast inspiration for you. So.
Yes, you just inspired a lot of. I think I have a blog that I need to write right now. I'll post on Facebook. So you inspired that.
Way better at blogging than me. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually, because I have 2 blogs. I have the podcast blog, and then there's the other blog on the site. The traditional blog I haven't published in months. So because I'm publishing twice a week in the podcast. So.
Yeah. Well, your podcast is kind of where you publish, and like for me, I started to publish everything on Facebook because that's where all of the people were. And I was going to take that stuff from Facebook and publish it on my site, but I just haven't had time. So I'm going to get a VA that's going to do all that.
So since I've been published in 3 issues of a magazine now, I'm going to publish that on my blog.
Oh, see, there you go.
And then backlink it to them to show them respect. But in the end, like I've waited a few months and now I'm going to republish the same content through my site because I wrote it. So.
I'm all about repurposing.
I'll have some new blog content. So, which really, I don't think it's happened since last year. So,
well, here's the new stuff. Come get 3.
Yeah. Videos, plenty. Podcasts, plenty. Writing, no. Play to your strengths. Play to your strengths.
And do what you love. Like what lights you up. I love to write. Like that's why it lights me up. But I also.
If you're gonna do this live video thing, like, you don't have to. But like, I want to just dive in one day.
Yes. I have to invite you.
Crazy ass Scott.
Yeah.
Crazy ass fuck Scott.
Crazy ass fuck Scott.
We can talk about wine, but you got to tell me what wine, so I'll go out and buy it.
Oh, see, I got to go find the wine.
Virtual wine tasting.
Oh, that's so fun! Isn't that fun? I love a Tempranillo. It's a Spanish wine. That's a good wine.
I'm a dry guy.
You're a dry guy.
But if I have to, I'll suffer through it and then just give it to my fiance and she'll drink everything.
Well, what dry wine do you like?
Oh, I love Malbecs, Pinot Noirs.
Oh, I was going to say Malbec. Okay.
I love a little peppery finish.
So we'll get a Malbec.
Right now. I need my peppery finish. Don't give me that sweet swill. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen,
that was a
great weekend.
Yes, thank you.
I got your back. If you need any support, let me know. So
thank you. Thanks for having me.
when this hits the schedule, and I'll be when it airs, you get an email update, and I actually send you the actual images that we use for the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube feeds for the cover images, because sometimes, depending on where I'm at my publishing of the social media content, sometimes my guests actually beat me to it, which I actually tell them to try and beat me to posting, because then if you tag me, I don't have to post it. I will share, repost, retweet your shit, because that's the power of marketing. I don't want to be generating the content all the time. I'd rather repost your content.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good to me, and I definitely will get you in touch when I start doing those video live.
Yeah.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
I imagine I go back and follow you on Instagram. So anyway,
Yeah.
have a great day.
You too.
Keep an eye out for the Heather intro. I'll try and do it over email. It's usually the best. So.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You as well.
Bye.